Alright, so I am a little bit late to the party on this one, but I recently learned how to do the Charleston instance, and I have spammed it enough times that I think I can make a video on it. It's a short little instance, probably about 15 minutes, and it's gotten a lot better to do lately because Mechanic has gotten a lot stronger with the that's come out, like the supplement chip for Matto mechanics, and the work cap for Axe mechs. And yeah, so this instance has gotten a lot better to do because this is the primary place to get weapons for mechanic, like pile bunker or tornado axe. Um, tornado axe is really awesome for axe mechanics because it reduces the cooldown of axe tornado by a full second. Spam it a lot faster. But yeah, that's what the MVP drops here. You also get Charleston components, which are used kind of like the Mora enchantment, where you get a special set of equipment for mechanic that you can enchant and make a lot better and optimize. And that's pretty good for the Matto mechanics to use as well. So yeah, basically there's a lot of reasons to go ahead and do this. So the first part of the quest is pretty easy. You just run around the outside, and I've pulled back here so that you can see kind of the pathway that you need to go. There's so many levels and stairs that it can be a little bit hard the first time you do the. You probably won't get lost. Like I wouldn't let that stop you from trying it. It's not like that confusing, but it is nice to have kind of a bird's eye to reference if you want to check it out. But in the middle room there, you want to make sure that you pick up the quest for the steps and you talk to Charleston so that you can fight the lock steps. Lock steps are those little Matto guys in the brown robots, and you need to kill three of them. So with this route, you head up to the right, kill that first one, then you walk south, and then on this zigzag part, you take the middle path and go all the way to the top. Go to the left here, and there's another lock step up here on the top. Um, this is the route that I go when I want to kill all of the lock steps. You don't have to take that one or go out of your way and kill that one, but um, this route has the least backtracking in it as well. So you take that one out and then you walk up this upper path and there's one on the top level there. So you only need to kill three to move on to the next part of the quest. So you make your way back to the middle of the lab and you talk to Charleston. Charleston 1 is the one with pink hair. Charleston 2 is the one with blonde hair. Uh, and you saw I just grabbed an explosive powder there. That is for later in the quest. So if you're doing this, make sure you grab an explosive powder. So she says the generators are turned off, so your job is to go turn them on. So that was one up there with the kick step guarding it. So now on this zigzag, you go to the left side and you go all the way across. There's a kick step here. There's a generator there, and then there's a lock step there. So that's why I didn't hit it the first time, because I was going to go there anyways to activate the generator. So it saved me a little bit of time, probably like 10 or 15 seconds of backtracking. So then you'll make your way down here to this middle part and walk to the west side of the map, because we haven't been there yet, and there's a few more lock steps to kill there, and there's also a generator towards the end of it. So if you want to get all the lock steps, and I recommend that you do, you head over to the south here, and you walk up this small set of stairs, and then over to the left, there's some robot guards in the way. You don't have to kill them. I just was kind of stuck there because I wanted to hit the steps for the step killing quest as well. You don't really have to go out of your way for the steps either. Like, as long as you just kill the ones that you see, you'll hit 50 and guarantee a Charleston complete for you. But after you take out that lock step, walk back up and then head up this set of stairs to the upper level, walk all the way to the top, and there's a lock step here on the end, and then there's also a kick step and a generator. Um, so yeah, I mean, no matter if you go any other route, you're going to be backtracking in a place that you wouldn't necessarily have to. That's why I think this route is probably the best one. But if there's any other suggestions, I'm interested to see what would be better. But yeah, once you do that, you should have killed all the lock steps, all the kick steps, and activated all the generators. You'll talk to Charleston 1, and she'll boot up Charleston 2. These are basically just robot humans, I guess, with their AIs. And it's this big social experiment is kind of the premise of the instance. But you'll talk to the pink-haired one, and then you'll talk to the blonde-haired one, and it'll activate these waves of robots. You'll just kill them over and over until she stops summoning them, and you'll go to the middle part of the lab. Uh, so one of the pieces of equipment that I'm using is the Abyss Dress because it increases damage against monsters. Strangely enough, you would think these would be formless because of how like Huperos works. But yeah, most things here are demon, so Abyss Dress is really good against them. Once she stops throwing a tantrum, you talk to Charleston too, and she'll say she'll meet you at the lab. So here's an opportunity to kill a couple of kick steps and a lockstep here. You can activate the quest dialogue and then kind of continue on your business and find the other kick step that's down there. There should always be two and one lockstep. So once you do that, head back to the middle and you'll just wait here until they're done talking. And Charleston 1 will ask you one explosive powder. So if you've been killing the steps like you were supposed to, you'll definitely have found an explosive powder by now. And you just talk to her again, and she'll start the instance up, or bring you into the core where you fight Charleston. So there's more dialogue, and then you can fight Charleston. I think one of the reasons I didn't do this instance before was because this MVP seemed really slow. Like it had 20 million HP, 23 mil, and I was at the time, like earlier when it came out, you couldn't really do this much damage, and even now it takes a long time. Like it's probably faster to acid bomb, but it's way more expensive, and it's not really worth it when you can just cart cannon. So at 160k cart cannons, it takes me about a minute and a half to kill him. He doesn't really do any life-threatening damage, and as long as you have like a royal guard on, you should be fine. I actually switched from deviant to of shooter for my fallen angel wings because he does such little damage. The only thing that he does is like Lord of Vermilion and Meteor Storm, so you don't really want to be wearing a deviant for that. Other than that, he doesn't really do any damage, and you just cart cannon him down or whatever class you're playing. Um, I'm not really sure. Just do whatever your highest damage is, and you'll kill him eventually. Uh, but after you kill him, then get the more quest dialogue. This is 10 times speed, so you can see the instance actually will take quite a bit longer than this video. I've condensed down a lot of the quest dialogue, but once they're done talking, talk to Charleston too. She says to go meet her back at the lab. Uh, if you want to get 3 more Charleston components, which I recommend you do, then go back to the lab and talk to Charleston, and then wait until they're done talking. Um, while you're here, I pick up my quest for the steps, where I turn it in and get my component. It's easy for me to remember because it's the last thing that I do in the instance. Once they're done talking, speak to the doctor 2 times, and that will let you leave the lab. So you head out through the portal, walk over to the left, and then talk to this NPC here and exit the instance. Um, for the interest of time, like say you're using HE bubblegum and you want to use it on Charleston, you can pop the gum right before you kill Charleston, and then you can leave the instance right after he's dead. and that'll save you all the time from waiting for the quest dialogue. But the only way to get the three components is to talk to the NPC and leave. And these are the NPCs over by where Charleston is that you can turn in the components for enchantment on your Matto gear, and you can make pile bunkers and stuff here as well. So that's pretty much the whole use of it. You can get Tornado Axe, Robo Arm, Pile Bunker, like a gigantic blade. You can get a lot of expensive weapons from Charleston himself, so the MVP actually does have good drops. In fact, the very next run after this instance, I got a Tornado Axe. So yeah, give Charleston a try.